Ann's your guest host, and we have such a cool story for you today. Can't wait for you to meet Donna. Donna is a member in Camp Waukesha. Donna McKonly, welcome.
Hey there.
So great to have you. Okay, first of all, I have to find out, what's winter like in Waukesha, Wisconsin?
That's a great question. Today it's like 56 degrees outside, which is
No
absolutely
kidding.
gorgeous and beautiful. But mid-January we had a pretty big snowstorm that shut our electricity off for about 72 hours. So, you know, you never know what you're going to get.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's kind of like, yeah, if you don't like the weather, wait about 15 minutes.
exactly right.
Let us get to know you. Talk to me about what fitness and nutrition was like growing up, your relationship with your body image, like all the things that we kind of all went through. But talk to us about what it was like.
Yeah, absolutely. First, Ans, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to share my story and to share about the community at Burn Boot Camp Waukesha. Growing up, so I'm 44 years old and, born 79, grew up in the 80s, 90s, and I was the kid that always wanted to play. I wanted to be outside. I wanted to play the sports. And so in terms of like some of the battles that other people go through in terms of their body image through elementary, middle, and high school, I think I was just about wanting to play the sport. I loved soccer. I wanted to be on the basketball court. I wanted to be on the tennis court and just anything to be able to play. And it wasn't
Yeah.
probably until college. I played college soccer and my teammates dealing with some of the uh, different perspectives and ideas around body image and just kind of seeing the battles that they went through. But I would say for the most part, I was all in, ready to play. And then, in terms of growing up and just that journey, it probably wasn't until after college when I lost that community of my teammates and I lost the
Mhm.
community of just, having the people around me and jumping into the working world that, my lifestyle changed. And that's when I, was less active. It was harder for me to connect in terms of finding the exercise routine that was going to work for me. And,
Mhm.
definitely then started to ride that roller coaster of weight gain and then, being able to figure out what that thing was to get the switch to click and finding routine and balance and nutrition and exercise. And then something else might happen in life and the weight gain happens again. And, then, wishing I just had access to that thing. It's a flip of a switch. If it's in the mind, if
Yeah.
it's in the body, to really be able to connect and find what would work for me in that journey.
Yep. Yep. It's a really special place. Burn Boot Camp has attracted a lot of people who are former athletes and former, that people that were just really competitive and loved to challenge themselves, and also really loved team.
Mhm.
Like really love that connection in that community. We find a lot of people trying to reignite that in themselves. So that's great. I'm so well. First of all, I'm so excited that you found that in Camp Waukesha, and I am excited to hear about what what brought you to Burn Boot Camp, March 2022.
Yeah.
Talk about your journey.
Yeah. Is it all right if I rewind a little bit as well? Just
Absolutely,
yeah.
yes,
Okay.
100%.
Awesome. So, I was talking about that, that roller coaster of just, finding routine, finding balance, and being able to live that healthy lifestyle to then things happening in life and gaining weight, getting out of the rhythm, out of the flow. And, you know, being 44, a lot happened from college until now. And, I think probably one of the, best, or not best, but one of the shifts that happened I was at my highest weight at the time, and it was 2012. And that's the year that my dad passed away. So he had been sick for a couple of years.
I'm sorry.
And I was at my highest weight and just kind of like, man, how do I get control? How do I figure this out? And so I had reached out to a friend, and she just supported me in some nutrition goals. And in that next year, I then, lost a lot of weight, but I was doing it all in really healthy ways. And I had found running as a passion for me. And like a year after my dad had passed away, I ran a marathon in his honor. And it was one of my better races. But my mom and my uncle all got to be there, for it. But, I found that, and it was awesome. But at the same time in that journey, as years progressed and I stayed on it, the challenge was that, while I had nutrition down, I didn't necessarily have all the positive thoughts going through my head, to be able to support me. And it certainly wasn't, anything that would be necessarily, concerning, but just, being able to believe in myself, being able to know that, I am enough. And so, I ran a marathon a year after, and then had run another marathon maybe like a year or two later, and then was training for another marathon. And I was in the middle of the run, and I was like, I'm tired. I'm tired of running. And because, you go on a 20-mile run, and you're alone in your thoughts. And so I realized like, hey, this isn't supporting me. And I stopped my run, and I called my mom and said, hey, do you want to go out to lunch? This is the town I'm in, and I'll just, head over to this restaurant. And, she met me, and I ended up running the marathon I was supposed to. I did it as a half, but, just kind of realizing like, hey, how do I find the balance of being able to do the exercise and the nutrition? And, it wasn't clicking then at that point. And so then I hit another weight gain. And this time I was at even a higher weight than the last time. And so, then that brings me, years pass by, and then 2019, I'm, just really beginning to take like power and ownership of, what I want in my life. And, that's when I pursued a life coaching program so that I could be certified as a life coach. And that right there is where the shift happened for me. And just understanding how my thoughts, like that enough message, I am enough, I am worthy, I can do this, I can do hard things, I'm fully capable, right? That's where that shift started to happen. And, so I was working on, just really building my leadership and building my, my thought process. And then March of 2022 happened, and I work in a school full time. And my neighbor, Annabelle, had said, hey, do you want to try Burn? It's spring break. My spring break plans were canceled. So, because it's COVID issues, right? And she's like, so we got to make something happen here. And I said, sure. And this was probably like at 2:30 in the afternoon. And so the camp was at 4:30. No idea what I was getting myself into. And she said, don't wear your street shoes. You got to change your shoes and wear leggings or something. I'm like, okay. And, keep in mind, I'm
fully prepared.
Yeah, I'm at my heaviest weight at that point, and jumping into Burn Boot Camp. And, that week, because it was a week free trial at that time. And we just kept going back and forth. Are you going to join? Are you going to join? Ah, gosh, I don't know, hemming and hawing as to whether or not we were going to make that commitment. And I think, by the end of the week, Annabelle had committed. Yes, I'm doing it, Donna. And I was just like, what do I have to lose? This is an investment in me. What do I have to lose? And so, we talked about it, and I said, well, I'm going to have to go to the 4:45 camp. And, she's like, well, I'm going to go to the 5:30 camp. So it was like jumping in then with this commitment and the thought, what do I have to lose? And maybe the better thought is, and that was the thought at the time, but what is it that I have to gain? In taking this opportunity. And so life changed in March of 2022. in an incredible way.
Yeah. Yep. All the best ways. What I heard in what you just said was, you made attempts and you had obstacles, and you made attempts and you had some detours, and nothing got you off your path because you had decided to change your life and take better care of yourself and not be caught up in all the other stuff that, takes our eye off of the self-care ball, whether that's prioritizing work or family or all the obligations. You really focused on yourself. You focused on, and I love the part about you stopped in the middle of that run. I mean, Donna, that's somebody who is truly aligned with what they need to move into the next phase of their life. You were overwhelmed and you were disconnected from yourself, and you changed. You changed that. You made a promise to yourself, and I think March 2022 was definitely, gosh, that was a big choice you made.
Yeah, and fear definitely, played a part in terms of motivating me, right, to take that leap.
Sure.
And yeah, I don't think I realized, and even, I don't think I realized the impact. I thought I was, okay, I'm going to go work out. Like, I'm going to figure out how to get into a routine of working out. Not even like understanding the full impact in terms of the sense of community, the being aligned with, just the thought process, and I can do hard things, and being able to kick off my day that way. Because now, with my full-time job as a school counselor, I work in a school for students with behavior and emotional disorders. And so the energy is very high in terms of, there could be yelling or swearing or kicking or punching. And no idea that decision then was going to make it so that I could do my job better.
Yeah.
And so that became the piece of like, okay, that's like the thing I have control over now. Like, I can go and do burn, and I know then when there's chaos in my workday, I know that I got that workout in.
Right. And prioritizing that workout, setting that boundary, protecting that time and that energy to give back to pour into yourself so that you can pour into others. Bless you for the work that you do. It's so important and so wonderful. I just think, from your soccer days, you probably really loved challenging yourself, and Lord knows you love to run. And I just think that's something that's ingrained in you. It brings you fulfillment and joy. And I think that there are a lot of people out there that don't realize how much fulfillment and joy, protecting that time and pouring back into yourself can give you. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the impact. I know that you competed in the Level Up games. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so March of 2022, and then that fall was our first Level Up games, or my first Level Up games, being a member. And again, a group of women were like, okay, I'm doing this, are you doing it? And again, like, okay, I guess I am. I guess I'll sign up. Kind of having that FOMO, like, what am I going to miss out on? And knowing full well, though, and that I couldn't do a box jump, and that was one of the moves in the games. And so I said, well, I'll go ahead and sign up, but I can't do a box jump. And certainly didn't love those power rolls either. But thought, okay, well, I'll go ahead and do this. And it was cool because at the first open gym that our owners had for us, I was talking with another woman, and she said, Diane, she's like, I can't do one either. And we looked at each other and tried to figure out that day how to do our first box jump. And we figured it out. And we were just like in total shock, total surprise that it was something that, we were able to do. And what's funny is I had told my niece and nephew, and they came to watch me at the Level Up games. And when I attempted my first box jump, I missed it. And I just made eye contact with my niece, and I was just like, I got this. I got this. I can do it. And then, got back in my head so that I could finish, that round of activity. But, I've certainly have competed in different things, but I would say that that's one of the hardest things I've done. Just in terms of like managing your adrenaline, because when it's go time,
Yes.
it's time to go. And, I don't necessarily feel that rush of adrenaline going and being able to manage it so that I can get through the exercises. And, competed in the 2023 level up games for our camp as well, this past year. And just, it's certainly got it done and was excited about it. And it's like, oh man, I want to figure out how to, see what brings, comes up for us next year. So.
Yeah. Those it's like a racehorse and the gates open. You got to pace yourself with those things. It's like athlete games every year. I watch and my heart rate is at about 180. I can't imagine what it feels like to be on the floating floor and it's go. And you want to compete. You want to challenge yourself. You want to do this thing that you call showing up for yourself. Talk to me about what that phrase means, because I love it. Showing up for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So in starting my journey with Burn, 4:45 is early in the morning. And my alarm needed to go off at 4.
It's the middle of the night.
Yeah, it really is. You're right, Ans. It is in the middle of the night. And at that time, that's what I thought, right? So, it was hard for me to get up and get going. And again, like this idea of like, how am I investing in myself? How, like that fear piece of like, I don't want to miss out. Like I want to take advantage of this opportunity. And so, the original motivator was like, my doctor had said, Donna, you need to lose weight. And so I'm like, okay, well, if I do burn, then I can maybe lose weight. And that wasn't necessarily happening in that first month. And I was feeling discouraged. And I thought, you know what, like that's not the thought process that I want to have, because it's not what's serving me right now. And if that is what I'm trying to use to motivate for me, in my journey, motivate me, it's going to deplete me and I'm going to feel like giving up and stopping. And I didn't want to do that. It was too early in the game and I didn't want to do that. And I thought, okay, well, how can I take a different approach in doing this? And that's when I decided, well, what if I shift my thinking and just say, hey, Donna, how do you want to show up for yourself today? So when that alarm would go off and if I couldn't get out of bed right away, I would just say, how do you want to show up for yourself today? And just making that commitment to myself. And it's, not just in that day, but it might be in the middle of the workout and I'm struggling, I'm tired, and I don't want to work as hard. I ask myself again, like, but no, how do you want to show up? How do you want to invest in yourself right now in this moment? And that shift in my thinking, game changer for me. It made it so then I was showing up, and it was, you talked earlier about, learning to set those boundaries and just practicing that self-care. And, I could come up with a lot of other excuses, a lot of reasons, but it was just one simple question to be able to have that commitment to myself. And so that's what got me going, and so that I could build habit and build routine. And then, 2022 finishes up and then we're rolling into 2023. And, I hear about this 250 camp, a special camp for the members that hit 250. And I'm like, well, dang, I joined in March. I didn't have enough camps to hit that time. And so I was feeling really discouraged and just kind of like, man, like I want to do that. Like I can do that. And so in 2023, I said, okay, how do you want to show up for yourself this year? What is it that you want to do? And so I told myself, I want to come to every camp. That's what I want to do. I want to come to every camp unless there's some other reason. And, I have a lot of gratitude that I was healthy. As I reflect on the year, I have a lot of gratitude that I was healthy. But I hit every camp except the camp that was on Level Up Games. But I hit every camp in 2023.
We'll excuse that one camp that you missed.
Well, messed up my streak on the new app. So it was
Oh,
like, oh no. But yeah, so I made that commitment, and as the year went on, I was certainly proud of myself, but what I really felt was gratitude, because I saw other members going through different health battles, and maybe having to
mm,
have some type of
yeah.
surgery, maybe having some kind of injury that they're working on. And I just had gratitude in that, like, okay, I was healthy and I did what I could each day. And so that's kind of the mentality of like, hey, I've got it in me, so I'm going to bring it today.
Yep. Yep. I think that that's such a that how do you want to show up for yourself is such a powerful growth mindset that is people underestimate how important it is. And to take it from a 30,000-foot view of not what does the scale say, because that is not at all what we believe in. And not even like, how clothes fit and all those things that we all get so caught up in. But how do I want to take care of myself?
Mm-hmm.
Like back it all the way up. How do I want my family to see me taking care of myself? How do I want to feel about my self-worth? It's just such a mind shift that's so important, and I'm so happy that that happened to you. Yeah, and to talk about that your streak, that Keep Moving Club, man, that thing is important. To see on the app how many like camps you've gotten, and to like be able to look forward to that goal and that milestone and to get it,
Mm-hmm.
that feeling. I mean, tell me about what it feels like to set those kind of goals and to reach them.
Yeah, at the end of 2023, I was definitely proud of myself. And I think the real takeaway, though, was around gratitude for the community. Because at that point, it was my way of it is my way of life. I start my day at Burn Boot Camp at 4:35 in the morning. I'm over there and I'm with my people, and we are connecting and we are having fun. And I think the reflection for me was just having so much gratitude around that I was healthy enough to be able to stick to that commitment. Um, I also recognize, I will say this, I recognize that fear definitely played a part, because my fear was if I didn't show up one day, that it might be easy to not show up the next day or maybe the
Yeah.
following day. And so I know that there
Yeah.
was a part of fear playing a part in that. And so again, just trying to shift that thinking, and I guess having the awareness, but then realizing, you know, um, this is more about being with my community, being with my people, and starting my day. I mean, there's no other way I'd want to start my day. My day would not feel complete if I did not get my camp in at 4:45.
Yep. I think a lot of people feel you. I think there are a lot of people nodding their heads out there that are listening and watching. Um, so you mentioned throughout your fitness journey that there were peaks and there were valleys. What would you say to somebody who is in that space of feel like I've let myself down. I haven't walked into a gym in a long time or maybe ever. I haven't been taking care of myself. They're in that valley. What do you say to them to kind of throw them a lifeline and to pull them up to where you are?
Yeah, I think if I were sitting and being able to have the opportunity to have like a authentic conversation with them, just being able to ask, what is it that's keeping you from that? And I've used fear a lot today, and I feel like fear is a piece that plays a part in what keeps us from doing those things that just make a total difference in our life. And it could be fear of, gosh, I'm not in shape. I can't keep up with the other people on the floating floor, or I don't even know if I'll make it through a workout, or
Mm.
you know, I I'm afraid that if I do it, I won't stick with it. And it's just one more opportunity for me to fail, and I mean, anticipating maybe some of the responses that they might have, and, certainly acknowledging, because that's real. And those are battles that, each of us fight in different ways. But then being able to ask them that question around, and if you go, what might you gain? And just being able to put the ball back in their court so that they know what it is that they can gain. And then at that point, and I would say, and do you want to come with me tomorrow at 4:45? I will pick you up, because that is the best way to start the day. But yeah, that's kind of the questions I would ask them.
They're all such good questions. It's about inner reflection and really digging deep into the why. It's never the, I want to fit into this dress for my, 20-year reunion, or I've got a wedding I want to get. It's never those things. It's always so much deeper and so much more connected to, like what you said, fear. It was so well said. Donna, okay, so you are a very in touch, emotional, you have this ability to kind of pull people along, I feel like, and I think that comes from your life coaching. How do people find you?
Yeah. So I have a website, DonnaMcKonlyCoaching.com, and they can easily message me, through the website to be able to connect. And, certainly would love the opportunity if people wanted to reach out and just start those conversations and see how I could be a part of their journey.
Yep. I love it. It starts with a conversation.
Yeah.
It starts with one step. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's great. Okay. So we're going to end today with a little rapid fire. I don't think I prepared you for this. Favorite protocol?
Anything strength, but quite honestly, I love them all except core conditioning. Whew, core conditioning, it's the mental battles that take me there. And my goal for 2023 is to somehow develop a loving relationship with core conditioning.
I hear you. All of Burn Nation hears you. And also the protocol that you avoid is the one that you need the most.
Yeah.
The most. Okay, well, you answered the protocol that makes you cringe when you see it and say, oh shit. And then name one thing, and it'll be, you've mentioned so many things, but name one thing that's changed in your life as a result of Burn Boot Camp. And maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a feeling, maybe it's a mantra. Just if you can pinpoint one thing that comes to mind.
Yeah. I think that one thing is around being able to fully connect with my body, and in connecting with our body and pushing ourselves through the exercise, it allows us to feel. And sometimes the feeling is, that side pain, as you're going through the million burpees that you're doing. And sometimes it just kind of lets loose some of the feelings that you've been holding on to and boxing up. And so I feel like that's where I have a lot of value in just kind of shaking up my world a little bit in that way. Besides all the other things I shared, that would be a one more. So.
Yeah, 100%. Burn Boot Camp has an interesting way of repatterning your relationship with your body. The stories that you've always told yourself that, oh, I'll never be able to, I can't, I'm not that kind of person. And the example of that box jump, you signed up for those level up games. You were like, well, there's a box jump. I guess I'm going to figure that out. And it's a completely different mindset. I think that's so amazing.
Yeah. Ready to take it on and not let it hold me back. So
That's right. That's right. I'm so thrilled for you, Donna. I'm so excited for you and your journey with Burn Boot Camp. You are such you're a wonderful, wonderful member. And thank you for being part of our community and Burn Nation. Everything that you add to your community in Wisconsin, and really now for everyone, is just so valuable. And we just want to thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Is it all right if I give a shout out to Burn Boot Camp Waukesha?
Please do.
Oh my goodness. I have so much gratitude for Carrie and Karen, the owners of Burn Boot Camp Waukesha, and just the community that they've created. And my gosh, that 445 crew is amazing. They come in with so much intensity and love and support. I mean, they're right there by my side to spot me when I need a spot and push me and correct my form when it's not looking good and just make me stronger. And I just have so much gratitude and appreciation that that's where I get to start my mornings. The trainers are awesome. The experienced representatives are awesome. I mean, it's just an incredible experience. 445 has been consistently hitting the 60s for the last couple months. Like, we are getting so many people, and I think it's because of the energy that is brought and the community that's there at Burn Boot Camp Waukesha.
Yep, without a doubt. That group energy, and then you also get that personal training. It cannot be beat. I applaud you for getting up in the middle of the night to go and join your community. But that is a very powerful draw. I mean, it's you're showing up for yourself, but you're also showing up for everybody on that floating floor, and that's important.
Yeah.
And if there's anybody in Lake Waukesha near, Donna will come get you.
Yep,
and pick you up and take you.
Yeah. And Anns, I'm going to tell you, I'm telling you, you need to come to Waukesha and check it out.
Well, as long as it's in the 50s and 60s in February, I'm in.
Okay, I'm signing you up.
Perfect. I love it. Donna, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening out there in Burn Nation. Please like and subscribe. Okay, Donna, I'm going to take us out. You ready?
I'm ready.
2 claps on 2. 1, 2.